Easy. Well, I've got some good news and some, well, good news. The first bit of good news is that Boris Johnson has been elected as our new Prime Minister. Is that good news for the country? Well, first of all, it's not Nigel Farage, but I think under the circumstances, I think it's the best thing that we could have hoped for. Because Boris, he bleeds optimism. He was even criticised on the campaign trail by Jeremy Hunt for his optimism. And Boris brilliantly replied, well, I think this country needs a little bit of optimism, to be quite honest. And of course, the crowd lapped it up and cheered him. And he's right. That is exactly what we need right now, a bit of optimism. Now, for the last 3 years, we've had the Maybot and Spreadsheet Phil. And they're like a pair of frigging funeral directors. I mean, all we've heard is that we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't survive for more than a month without being shackled to the European Union. And I think the people are just sick of it. And I think Boris is the antidote to that. He's pledged that he will take us out of the European Union on 31st of October. No ifs, no buts, do or die. And I think that's exactly what people need to hear right now. And the problem is, of course, for him that the Project Fear now that we've had to deal with for the last 3 years is going to ramp up. We've already seen a backlash against Boris by the haters of him, or the Remainers in the Conservative Party are now ramping up their anti-Brexit stance. And we're actually seeing, now just take this in for a minute, if you're watching this from outside of the United Kingdom, that we have got members of Parliament in the Conservative Party who are actually prepared to bring down their own government in order to keep us shackled to the European Union against the will of the people. Now just let that sink in for a second. That is what we're having to deal with in this country, an act of self-sabotage. And you would have thought that the last thing that a Conservative Member of Parliament would want to see would be a general election that could probably herald a Marxist government. But yeah, they seem absolutely prepared to make that happen. It's quite extraordinary. It really is. Now, we're all trying to find out now if Boris can deliver Brexit before going to a general election. He wants to do that, but I'm honestly not so sure. I think that he may end up having to call a general election because I think that the numbers in Parliament are perhaps against him. And I'm afraid that he possibly hasn't got much choice, although it's not what I want to see. And of course that brings me now to the second part of this, because the Liberal Democrats, God bless them, have voted in Snowflake Swinson as their leader. Now this woman is an absolute poster girl for the snowflake generation. She's the ultimate crybaby. She goes on a meltdown every time that she talks about the rise of populism in Europe and across the world. And she's come out with some rather nasty things about Nigel Farage and the Brexit Party and UKIP, and about Boris and about the Brexiteer side of the Conservative Party. She's famed for being the first woman to bring her baby into Parliament. Well, aren't we all impressed? Whoopie fucking do. She brought her baby into Parliament. So progressive. And this is what we've now got in the Liberal Democrats. Now I'm hoping that this is a sign that they have signed their own death warrant, because I think this woman, quite frankly, is going to put off, well, I think maybe those that are going to vote Liberal Democrats, maybe not so much, but it's going to put off a lot of people from voting for them, because she is an absolute snowflake. I've seen her on Question Time once or twice, and she makes me laugh because of her. She's just like a. She's like the girl who throws toys out of the pram when she doesn't get her own way, and I have a feeling that she's going to expose herself for what she is when the campaign trail gets underway. So here's hoping that this is the death of the Liberal Democrats. Democrats, can you believe it? And she's actually said that if we did hold a second referendum and the people voted to leave for a second time, that she would still fight to keep us in the European Union. What a shit shower. So there we are. That's where we are at the minute. So let's hope that Brexit is now going to be delivered. Hopefully so. Thank you for watching on this beautiful day. Until next time, easy.